Hey there friends, welcome to today's pick a card reading. So I was actually going to start a completely different reading. I thought we were going to do like a message from spirit guides or whatnot, and then as I sat down I felt like we needed to talk about dreams. Like that was kind of the urge from spirit to pick up this new deck that I got. It's called In Dreams Oracle by Boris Indrikov, I think. I saw it at my bookstore and I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and I was kind of called to it, so I went ahead and picked it up. So we're gonna, the focus I think is to think of a particular dream that you've had recently, that it's likely you probably found your way to this reading because it's been, it's kind of been ruminating. It's kind of taken up space in your head. And you're like, well, what did that mean? Like it probably had some sort of significance for you. So let's go ahead and do that. So whatever that dream was that you had, and it could be a situation or a person or a thing that really stood out in the dream, and you're not sure exactly what that meant or how you should approach it, how you should approach this thing, person, event. Think about that as you're choosing the pile. Okay, think about that particular dream or that particular thing in the dream, person or thing, and then choose. So the three piles, we have this card. I haven't turned it over yet. I just shuffled and put them down. And this is the Super 7 crystal point. And for pile 2, that is pile 1. For pile 2, I have the Celestial Quartz. I think there's some citrine in it. Oh, I love that line, huh? How it shows up on screen. And we have this fire agate. Also a lot of lines, a lot of moving parts I hear. Kind of like the backs of these cards. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you folks pick your piles, and you'll find your pile at the timestamp below in the description, and I will see you there. All right. Hey there, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. You picked the pile with the Super 7 crystal. I don't know if you can see the different colors in there. And this card, which is number 37. So let's go ahead and look at the meaning. Let's read the meaning. 37. So we have grow and learn. Air external events. Says a new purpose will enrich your inner potential and help your transformation. There's a saying at the bottom, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. New purpose, opportunity. All right, so let's see what else we can get from Spirit. So we're looking at what that particular person, event, situation, dream meant for you. Get you an answer today. So let's start with this deck here. Spirit, can you give us an answer or an interpretation of pile 1's dream? Could you give us an understanding, interpretation of pile 1's dream? Spirit, could you give us An interpretation and understanding of pile 1's dream. We get a message regarding the interpretation. Pile 1's dream. Two more, I think. Interpretation of pile 1's dream. Could we get an interpretation for pile 1 about their dream? Okay, and for tarot cards, Spirit, could we get an interpretation for pile 1's dream? What is the message for pile 1's dream? What is the message regarding pile 1's dream? What is the message regarding pile 1's dream, Spirit? The message regarding pile 1's dream, Spirit. What message do you have for us regarding pile 1's dream? What is the message you have for us regarding pile 1's dream? What interpretation? I'll leave that up. Here it's written in the stars. And that came off. Actually, I want to use this deck. I have something. So, wow, a lot of the cards are kind of flipping out and turning over. Turning over a new leaf. Written in the stars. Situation. The dream is a message from your higher self. A dream is a message from your higher self regarding this next change, this next chapter in your life. And that if you're wondering why it's happening, it's kind of like it's written in the stars. This is something that you planned before you even came into this life, into this body, before you forgot why it is that you came here, what experiences you wanted to experience, what situations you wanted to experience in this lifetime. And the message is coming through in your dream. It's kind of like a remembering of sorts, a remembering of why you're here, of soul purpose. This is tied to soul path, soul purpose. And I think your brain is so busy. Your brain seems so busy that you're not able to hear kind of the nudges. You're not feeling the nudges from your higher self regarding what it is you're supposed to be doing, or what's going to happen, or how things are going to play out. And I think that the solitude is, that's when your higher self, that's when spirit can come in and speak to you. And because you're sleeping is not necessarily making a whole lot of sense. Ooh, almost lost that too. Things keep flying out of the way, out of decks. I think it's time. That's what I'm hearing. It's time. Let's see what solitude is. Retreating and finding solitude will be beneficial for your health. Take your time, go slowly, and find your favorite place to rejuvenate. Take time to bathe in the light of the next full moon and allow your senses to be calm to bring serenity when needed. I am restful and feel blissful in my own company. Yep, I feel like that's your spirit. Your higher self is talking to you in your dreams, and that's the first part of the message that I got. Oh, we have grace, and I've already gotten that covered, so this doesn't get censored. Grace. Chisandra. I think I want to pull out the deck for that too. Hold on a second. Pull out the guidebook for this. I kind of want to read it. I feel like we need to, if you can hear me, I feel like we need to read this one too. 29. So, grace. Upright, inner beauty, inspirations, euphoria, visions, supernatural powers, and synergy. The astrological ruler, Jupiter and Venus. It's perfectly balanced, perfectly yin-yang balanced. Chisandra nurtures all 5 elements, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, and enters all 12 energy channels or meridians of the human body. Symbol of longevity and beauty, even suggesting the ability to attain immortality. Increases energy, prolongs life without aging, benefits the mind, supports the eyes, acts as an inflammatory, helps against radiation, protects from nervous system toxicity, cleanses heavy metal toxicity, supports adrenal function, supports the lungs, benefits sexual function, balances hormones, and protects the skin. I think the big thing is the embracing, how it embraces all the elements in all 12 energetic channels. All right, well, let's see. Let's continue on. See what else is here. We have Andromeda, sacrifice. The anchor, security, resilience, restraint. Although in this instance, I feel like the anchor maybe not necessarily, it's not necessarily needed. And we have man. All right, and for tarot, 5 of Cups. The King of Cups. The 3 of Wands. The braids remind me of the serpent in this one, doesn't it? We have the Death card. Seven of Swords. Look at the Death card again, transformation. And as we noted earlier, the Ace of Wands. Right? I feel like I'm not fitting everything in here. Hold on a sec. My setup is a bit different today. Okay, we had the Ace of Wands, and that's when I heard written in the stars, right? And final 2, 10 of Swords. And the Justice card, which to me is balance. And look at the bird is standing out to me. The bird here is standing out to me. All right, so what am I getting here? So we already talked about how this is the time period in your dreams where your higher self is able to come in and talk with you and show you things, and probably through symbolism and feeling, right? Like key symbols, key feelings in the dream of perhaps what's coming, perhaps what you've chosen, Perhaps what I'm seeing here with the death cards is this transformation. The transformation from perhaps feeling like, you know, things aren't going your way, to get yourself into a space where you are content and you feel that this is where you want to be, where you need to be. The anchor was standing out to me because I think that something is holding you in place. Something is holding you in place, that you've really got your anchor in, your hooks into where you're at right now. And I think that it might be kind of a comfortable spot, which is why you haven't felt like you've wanted to step into this new, I'm pretty sure you know that this change is here, that this time is here, that the transformation should be occurring. I think you have an idea of what that change is on the horizon, and that you should be embracing the change. But because it comes at a time in your life where you're not feeling that, you're feeling kind of content. I feel like there's contentment tied to this, of not really wanting to for things to change, because you're not sure if it will be as good as it is now. Although you're already looking, part of you is already looking ahead. Part of you is already playing with the idea in your mind of how to get this going. Even if you don't know exactly what it is, I think you have an idea of, you're being pulled. There's this energy that's pulling you towards a certain idea, a certain change. And you feel it, you already feel it. But you need to pull up the anchor in order to really get moving. And you really are, because you don't want, you don't know how things are going to turn out. You're afraid to sacrifice what you have right now in order to pursue this next thing. Perhaps it's a dream or a goal that you feel it. You definitely feel it. But you don't know how it would turn out. And so therefore you're afraid of giving up that comfort. You're afraid of sacrificing that in order to take that step, or to listen to your higher self, your intuition, your own gut is kind of pulling you towards this new thing. And there's an excitement to it. I feel like you feel an excitement, and then you kind of tamp it down because you don't want to get excited about it for fear of where it's going to lead, right? It's an idea, it's a goal. It's something you want to do, something that's calling to you, something that's calling your name, and you keep getting, pulled in that direction. And it's because it's a sort of a fated thing. It's a way for you to bring you back into, you maybe feel a little unbalanced right now. Things are good, but something's not, your cup is not full. It's not completely full. You know that something's a little off, and maybe you can't put your finger on it, but your intuition, your higher self is calling to you, and that's what's happening in your dream. That's when your higher self can really speak to you. That's when you can really feel the call, because you're not putting up all of these logical obstacles to hearing the call of your soul. And wow, that's kind of beautiful. You're hearing the call of your soul, and it's calling you to this next step. Let's see if I can get another card here. Can we get a little bit more about this spirit, this dream of pile 1? I notice I said this dream of pile 1. And I think if there was a fear that things wouldn't be as good if you followed your heart, if you followed this call of your soul, it will be. It will be. A part, I think what I'm getting here, what I'm getting from Spirit is the fears that you have because you don't know how things will turn out. The fear that you have is unfounded. It's ungrounded. It's not going to turn out that way. I think that there is fear. I'm feeling fear. There's a fear of pursuing this call of your soul. There's a fear of pursuing this dream. But it is written in the stars, as your higher self has mentioned previously. It's written in the stars. It's calling to you. It's saying, do it. Go ahead and pursue this. And working in tandem with your dreams and with this reading, this message in the reading, to allay some of those fears, to get you looking outward, looking forward. I think for some of you, it's like life. It's a cause. You're being drawn to stand up or speak up for a cause. But you're afraid that by speaking your truth, or you're speaking your, putting your voice out there, that it might disrupt your life. I think that's anxiety here. But it won't. Or if there are some reactions or repercussions to you pursuing this dream, it's not going to keep you from being as happy as you are now. In fact, I think it's going to be bringing more joy and happiness into your life, because you're going to be aligning with your authentic self, your authentic calling, your authentic soul. Well, everyone's soul is authentic. We just have to be able to hear it. Be quiet enough, and perhaps it's the dream time when you're sleeping, that your higher self can come in and provide you the message. She's pouring, it's like a temperance card, right? She's pouring into her cup and aligning yourself with your ideals, your values, your morals, the things that you hold dear to you, the things that you believe. That's going to bring this balance in and bring a joy in. It's going to make you feel whole again. Could we get one more or two or three cards for pile 1, Spirit, about this dream? Is there something else you want to share with pile 1 about this dream? We have Eagle, ancestral healing. Your ancestors are holding space for you to heal your past. And perhaps this is what this journey is. And this is what you came in to this life to do, is to perhaps follow that cause, to bring healing not just to yourself, but to your ancestors, past, ancestors, future. Some of this for you, we have some environmental warriors here. And it's not just this card, but it just feels very, very much tied to nature. And that is a beautiful thing. All right, anything else, Spirit? Do we have one more card? Let's get one more card, maybe two. Maybe two more. We have the Observer. And on top of here, this is the Observer, but on top is also the Herbalist. And that's that pull, I feel, that pull to nature. That's why I mentioned that earlier. The Observer. Angels are watching over you. Relax and allow a space to open between thoughts. And that's where the dream, that's dream time. It's like you're allowing the space between your thinking, your thoughts. You're not keeping, your logical mind isn't like running. You aren't just full of thoughts. You're actually feeling deeper. So let's see. Relax and allow a space to open between thoughts. Observe from a quiet distance and make no harsh judgments on yourself or others at this time. Discernment may be needed for certain situations and to be able to walk your path with wisdom and clarity. I can observe without judgment is the affirmation. So maybe to get a bit more information for you, if you keep having dreams that are making you feel like there's meaning behind it and I just don't know what it is, I think that you can find meaning. You can get in touch with your intuition and your higher self, perhaps in meditation, in sitting quietly, taking a deep breath, letting your thoughts filter right out. They come up, let them go. Kind of like feelings, they'll come up, you let them go, right? Let it flow and see what comes to you. See what comes to you in your waking hours and how that might be giving you more of a clue, more of a remembering of what you're here to do. And feel it with your heart, like listen with your heart. I'm hearing listening with your heart. And you'll feel it deep within you. You'll feel that knowledge of, yes, this is what I should be doing. No, this is what I shouldn't be doing. Is this the meaning that Spirit was trying to get to me in my dreams? Is this what my spirit guides, or is this what my higher self was trying to tell me? And you sit with it and you think about it. See what comes up. Don't think, feel about it. See what comes up. See what ideas come up. See what it is that you are feeling drawn to. And I do feel that it has to do not just with ancestral healing, but healing of the earth, healing of others. And so this is your reading today, pile 1. This is what your dream world, the message the dream world was trying to get to you. I hope it resonated. I hope it provided some clarity, some understanding, maybe a bit of guidance in how to progress along this thing that's written in the stars for you. And I wish you the best of luck as you pursue this. All good things, all good things, all good things when you're connected to your authentic self, when you're connected to your soul and you pursue that path, pursue the goals on that path. All good things. All right, pile 1, thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay there, pile 2, welcome to your reading. You pick the pile with the celestial quartz. That line going through it. And this card here, I feel like everything comes to center. It is number 5. Let's see what the guidebook has to say about it. Number 5. Let's see. Look for harmony and balance. All trouble passes away and the world shines with its true colors. Then there's a proverb on the bottom, Japanese proverb. Fall 7 times and stand up 8. Dust yourself off and get up. Look for harmony and balance. Look for harmony and balance. Okay. So the question that we're trying to answer has to do with dream interpretation, right? Like, what is it about that dream? Like, it stood out to you. Why? Why did it stand out to you, right? And I feel like there's all this weaving going on. Weaving of thoughts, of emotions, of perspectives. Weaving, lots of things coming to center. Because that's what a loom does, right? You're bringing it in and you're bringing it all in. You're bringing it all in, right? So let's see what else Spirit has for us regarding message regarding this dream. What does this dream mean? What is the message that this dream was trying to convey? Spirit, for pile 2. What is the message this dream is trying to convey? What message do you have for pile 2, Spirit, regarding dream interpretation? What message do you have for pile 2 regarding dream interpretation? The interpretation of the dream that they're inquiring about today. What is the message for this dream they're inquiring about? Pile 2 is inquiring about today. What is the message? What is the message for pile 2, Spirit, regarding the dream that they're asking about? What is the message? What is the interpretation of pile 2's dream? Spirit, what is the importance of this dream regarding interpretation? Layered. Again, why am I layering these? I just feel like I have to layer them. Okay. And let's get the tarot cards. So, again, Spirit, we are getting an interpretation for pile 3's dream. Get an interpretation of pile 3's dream. Why is it important and why is it standing out and why are they remembering it? What is it about the dream, Spirit? What's the interpretation? What's the importance of it? And lastly, things don't want to go back into place. Some things don't want to go into place. That's interesting. So, things don't want to go into place. Things aren't wanting to fit. Things are not fitting well, or they're not fitting in the way that you think that they should. All right, let's see what else we have. We have cordyceps, revival. The eagle came out. The eagle came out in the last reading? No, I'm thinking of a different reading that I did. The angel message reading. All right. I hold these up also for you to see it and to see if anything stands out to you also. Because, I mean, it's a lot of fun. This is kind of like a group thing here where you're able to join in and seeing what stands out to you or what comes to mind when you see certain things. Like what stands out to you? What do you think of when you see this eagle? What do you think of when you see this rainbow of stars or this border of stars or this thing that looks like, well, it's the plant. And I believe it's a mushroom. or fungus. But look, there's little DNA strands on it. I first thought it was a snake when it first came out, and then like a snake transforming from solid from a solid state to something ethereal. And the mountains. That's how I like to read. Then we have Draco, guardianship. Again, stars. Golden apple. Golden apple. Draco. Alright, and we have the elephant, grounding. Ground your energies and emotions deep into the earth. Why do we need to do this? Why are you being called to do this? So we have a new day. Take one day at a time, never rush. Tomorrow will be a fresh start, a time for new growth. Try not to bring yesterday's troubles into today. Resolution will come soon. After a needed rest, your troubles won't seem as bad. Affirmation, I allow things to resolve. And that actually, I think, is a really good message. I allow things to resolve. You're tying yourself up in knots trying to have things be a certain way, or to try and get things resolved immediately in the here and now. Maybe some things take a bit longer to work its way out. All right, we have impulsiveness. We have the sun, success, happiness, warmth. We have lily, and I think peace when I hear this. That we're working towards peace. In order to attain peace, some transformation needs to occur. Let's move these around a little bit. Lily and the sun. Put the impulsiveness there. And for our tarot cards, the Four of Cups. What's raining on your parade? We have the Two of Wands. And I'm going to leave this reversed because I think that is important. We have the King of Swords. Look at the threads again, the theme of the threads and the stars and I'm hearing looking for meaning. Okay, so this dream, I think this dream has a lot of different layers to it. I think it's showing you something that's occurring in your everyday that maybe needs addressing. We have the Queen of Swords, clarity. I hear the word piercing. It's piercing through. Something's piercing through. Again, the star and hope. And look at her. Look at her hair, her braid. It's reminiscent of the thread, reminiscent of the cordyceps, reminiscent of the tail of the dragon and of all the thread in that first card. The Eight of Wands. We're going to have enough room for everything. We have the Ace of Cups. But you know what? Even if I don't have enough room, it's all good, right? Everything doesn't need to fit. It's all right. I'll find a way. I'll make space for it. The High Priestess. Again, all of that, all of the threads, cords, the threads. We have 3 more cards here. We have Strength. I'm going to put that over here. And we have the Emperor. And lastly, or not lastly, because you know I like to pull a lot of cards, we have the Eight of Pentacles. That we're working on something, working towards something. So what I'm getting out of the reading actually so far is this dream situation, this person, whatever it is that stood out in your dream is a reflection of control, of how perhaps you're trying to control a certain situation or the people around you, or yeah, the people around you, or a certain or way something is going to turn out. And it's difficult because there's a bit of impulsivity from whoever you're dealing with, and this feels like it's a fated thing, as if you're meant to deal with this, whatever's happening in your real life, this person, this thing, this impulsiveness, because it's helping you in turn to recognize that there is strength in letting things go. That you're trying to control, and it's frustrating you. And the frustration is spilling into your dreams, and it's spilling into your dreams in a way that you're probably not feeling rested when you wake up in the morning. And the reason the Two of Wands, I believe I've left it reversed, that I felt like I needed to leave it reversed, is because instead of being outward looking and trying to control the things that are going on around you, look within and see how you're capable of letting things be, of not having, not feeling like you need to control things as much as perhaps you do now, or that you want to do. That there needs to be a bit of flow, there needs to be some movement, there needs to be space for energy to flow in order for both you and if there's a person or a thing or a situation that you're dealing with, that has to, both parties have to be able to flow in this. And I think that there's this attempt to keep trying to get something resolved, get it resolved. And it keeps coming back, perhaps, or you keep running into the same issue, the same emotion, or the same frustration. But this is happening in your day-to-day reality because you need to learn to just let it go, let it be, and see what comes of it. Like see what comes of it when you relax your control over it. The threads, the threads, all these things that look like threads in this reading, I feel as if it's coming, it's not, maybe you're not actually pulling it together, or you're not being asked to grab control of it or pull it together. You're being asked to let it be, to remove the bindings. I think that this issue of control, where you're trying to control the things that are going on around you, because you want to ensure that things go the way you want it to go. I think that's a fear. That's a fear deep within you. That's coming up. It's coming up in your dreams. Of things unraveling, of things falling apart, of things not going the way that you want them to go, because perhaps you feel that you're not controlling it enough. Like you're not making things go the way that you think that they should go. And the message here is to just take a step back, let it go. In the day-to-day, let it go. The frustrations and that are going to arise from letting go of this type of energy. It's difficult. It is difficult. I know it's difficult to step away from that, to be able to be okay with, well, what's going to happen, right? To step away from thinking that things could turn out badly, because you're also keeping it from turning out well. And so when you let go of that, when you try to let go of that energy that is probably taking a hold of you, grounding will help a lot. Like when you feel that frustration and that you know, that fear is starting to get going, and you're like, I gotta do this, or I gotta stop them from doing this, or I gotta be in control of this, or I can't let them be in control of it because they're gonna mess it up, or however it manifests in your life, right? It's time for you to cut through that cord. Don't feel like everything's always gonna turn out badly. Sometimes things turn out badly because you're so busy thinking that things are going to turn out badly, right? And perhaps in the past you have given control of a situation over to someone else, and they let you down, right? Or things didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, or the way that they wanted it to turn out. But situations like that it's learning. It's a learning experience. It's a learning experience that life, you get good and you get bad in life, right? It's learning to be flexible and agile and resilient. That's what the learning is about, right? To be resilient, to still allow the universe, still allow spirit to give you things in your life without you knowing what it is, right? To be surprised by the universe, to be surprised by spirit. And you know, sometimes the surprises don't seem like they're all that great, but then you look back later and you're like, oh man, sure, I'm glad that happened, right? Sure, I'm glad I went down that path and didn't go and do this other thing. But it opens that up. It opens up that possibility. If you're controlling everything, you take away the sweetness of surprise. And maybe that's what the dream is trying to tell you. The interpretation of this dream is to believe that surprises can bring the sweetness of life, that you can let go of control. You are capable of grounding that energy and being okay with those frustrations, that there's always a new day. That there's always a new day, a new start, a fresh start. And that is hopefulness, right? That optimism, that hope. Look at all the stars here. Hopeful. Bring that hopeful and optimistic feeling back into your life, and it'll help you cut through this fear that binds you, that makes you want to control, right? Control everything, to make things go a certain way. And I think go inward and let it be free. Let go of it. Let it cut through it all. Let it go. I think for some of you it's a learned behavior. It's genetic and ancestral karma that has genetic memory, ancestral karma that has been passed down, and that's what you learned, and that's how you react to certain things. But that you can weave a different fate for yourself and for your own children and for those around you, your friends. You can show them through your own actions that you don't need to be that way, that you can learn to become resilient and agile. You can live from day to day knowing that you are taken care of, that you're never given anything that you cannot handle, and that you still can find joy and happiness in life, even when you don't control what's going on around you. And that's huge. You know, moving from that space where you feel like you need to make all the decisions and be responsible for everything, moving out of that space and just being okay with, okay, yeah, you guys do you. And for some of you, you know, you have kids and you have to take care of your kids, and that's not, I'm not saying, oh, just let them be, but maybe let them make some decisions, right? Let them learn how to be responsible for themselves. Let them see some of the consequences that, you know, maybe, maybe, you know, I shouldn't be, you know, maybe I shouldn't eat all this candy because it'll make me feel sick, right? That's just an example. That's not, I wouldn't say I'll just let them eat whatever they want, but, you know, let them make some choices where they understand what the concept, they understand how they react to those choices, right? If they don't know, if they don't learn as they grow, sometimes the learning as an adult can be really painful, right? And have a lot worse consequences, like learning to be considerate of others and respectful of others. You know, if you see a kid throwing, you know, their trash on the ground, have them pick it up, because, you know, if they get in trouble doing that as an adult, right, then what? But they have to go through, you know, you get fined, right? That was just one little example. But I mean, if you let them go through it and then you let them see what the consequences are, the consequences of their actions are great teachers. That's how we learn, right? We learn through life lessons. We learn the best lessons when we go through it, right? We go through the tough times as well as the easy times. The easy times end up just all blending together, but you remember those moments where you learned a really hard lesson, right? And sure, we do want to, this is just this kind of a tangent for some of you, we do want to protect those we love as much as we can, right? We really do. We want to protect them from, you know, the meanness of the world sometimes. We don't want them to feel hurt or to get hurt. But that's also protecting them from life and protecting and keeping them from being able to learn to be responsible for themselves. And I don't know how that tangent came out. I think it had to do with impulsiveness, right? I don't know. Sometimes I do readings and I like get to a point of the reading. I'm like, whoa, how do we end up here? Because a lot of times it's just messages coming through and I just speak the messages and I go with the flow. And I don't always remember the readings after I'm done, because in a way, I'm just channeling the message, right? And I'm not sitting there trying to remember every little thing that I've said. I just let spirit get the message out that they want to get out. So this dream, back to the dream, right? It's an unraveling of the frustrations that are occurring because of the amount of control that you're trying to enact in the world, that enact on the people around you. So it's fears and frustrations that things aren't turning out the way that you'd like them to, or that you're afraid that they won't turn out the way that you want them to. So spend some time thinking about that. Recognize that you have a lot of strength to deal with situations that pop up in life. You have a lot of strength, and there's a new day. There's always a new day for things that, you know, they don't have to get solved immediately. That you have the time to give someone else the opportunity to take that responsibility on. Let it happen. Let them do it. Let them give it a shot, right? Let them be responsible for themselves. Let others be responsible for themselves. If you are in a situation that you can do that, right? And this part of this is, like I said, the ancestral healing. It's ancestral karma. It's genetic memory. It's a way that you've been nurtured, and you are therefore trying to nurture in that same exact way. Cut through that. Work towards resiliency and agility, resiliency in life. Work towards letting others take up the mantle, right? Let things be. See how you feel. And that's the message that was trying to get through to you from your higher self, from spirit. We want to leave that and come to this, right? Open, flowy, no longer constricted, restricted, constrained, no longer bound so tightly you can't move, or you can't experience the world around you. All right, can we get one? Let's see, one or two more cards per pile. Okay, final message. What final message do we have for pile 3? Spirit, that's the final message that we have. I'll put that one. Limitless. Don't limit yourself by controlling everything. You are limitless. And so are the people around you. They are limitless also. They have to be given the opportunity to be limitless. And lastly, one more card. I like this deck. Let's see, what do we have? One more final message for pile 3. And we have the wishing tree. And I feel this ties in there. I haven't read the back yet, but I feel it kind of ties in there with the control, as if you don't let others have a bit of control, if everything is controlled around them, you kind of lose that hopefulness, that ability to dream, to make wishes, and, you know, the excitement of wondering whether it's going to come true or not. That's important energy, especially in a child or a younger person's life, especially in your life. Even as adults, we're so busy trying to, you know, make things happen the way that we want them to happen, that we lose that excitement and that magic that comes with making wishes, and, you know, letting the universe bring it to us, letting spirit bring us our wishes, right? That's exciting energy. That's limitless potential. That energy opens up doors, opens up opportunities. So it says, visit an ancient woodland or a specific tree that calls to you. This can be your very own wishing tree. Tie your wishes and dreams to its branches and let the magic unfold. The wisdom of the tree will guide your wishes to completion. The affirmation is, my wishes will be fulfilled. And, you know, for some reason, I just realized I was calling you pile 3, wasn't I? You guys are part of pile 2. But you know what? It's all good, right? It's all good. But maybe pile 3 calls your name too. I haven't recorded it yet, so I'm curious what pile 3 is going to be all about. But for you, I'm wishing you magic. I'm wishing you the ability to lay down the control and just let things happen. Let things come to you. Let your wishes come true. Let others' wishes come true. All right, pile 2. Thanks for joining me. I hope this message, brought you interpretation or an understanding of that dream that you came into this reading with. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for spending time with me. Alrighty, bye-bye. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the pile with the fire agate. And what I find so interesting and beautiful about this stone is that you wouldn't know that it had all of these layers within it if it hadn't been cut, right? If it hadn't been cut open. And the card of 29. And what I see in here, I'm noticing these different layers in the scarf, the stripes, different layers of feathers. And this, I don't know if this is it's coming in or you're throwing it out. But I do feel this feels a bit on the prophetic side. All right, let's see. Let's see what other cards we can get, what other messages we can get. Let's get a interpretation about your dream. Spirit, can we get a message for pile 3 regarding their dream? Interpretation regarding their dream. Just one of those. Spirit, could we get a message for pile 3 regarding the interpretation of their dream? Spirit, can we get a message for pile 3 regarding the interpretation? Oh, 2 of those. Pile 3. A message regarding the interpretation. I feel like I had 2 of those also for pile 3. I feel I feel really drawn to the oracle side of this desk. I have the oracle cards on one side and the tarot cards on the other. And I'm just really, really drawn to the oracle side. So I feel like it probably is very prophetic in nature, that the dream was prophetic in nature. That's how I'm feeling. It's like an oracle for you. It's there was a message to you regarding something that's coming up in the future. Circles, 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 circles. That's what's standing out to me quite a bit. Then I hear fit to be square in my head. All right, well, let's see. Tarot cards, Spirit, what message do you have for pile 3 regarding interpretation of their dream? I feel like there needs to be one more of these. Let's go. There we go. Interpretation of pile 3's dream, Spirit. What do you have for us? Interpretation of pile 3's dream. 1, 2. Could we get an interpretation? The importance of pile 3's dream. 2 cards there. Yep, 2 cards there. And lastly, the big question, will it all fit, huh? Again, I'm feeling like fitting things into a space that it might not fit. Again, it was turned sideways, so it wasn't fitting into the deck. Interesting. Oh, how exciting. I can't wait to see what this message is. All right, so we have ashwagandha, purpose. Look at the chakras all along the side here. Like the circles. Something's opening up. Like a flower here. Something's opening up. Something's opening up. What's opening up? We have Leo, Kingdom, grumpy looking lion, gruff looking lion. He is the king, huh? We have Confidence, Eridanus, Confidence. When I first glanced at it, it looked like, I don't know why, I thought it was like a tower, but it's not. It's a guy getting on a horse or grabbing some horses. I'm not familiar with this myth behind the constellation. We have balance. It's time, I hear. It's time. It's time for what? What's it time for? Release. I am going to leave these there on the side too for afterward. Remember, so you are surrounded by your ancestors. Whatever steps you choose to take, they will always be with you. You hold each of their memories within your body to connect you to their knowledge of the past. Know and trust that everything will turn out okay. The affirmation, in times of loneliness, my ancestors are close by to comfort me. And that's what I'm getting with the lines and the layers. It's lines and layers of that have passed down to you, of knowledge, of experience, of knowing. Layers upon layers. And we have restlessness. And I'm debating whether, I think I can leave it. It's a guy. I can leave it's a male, I should say. I can leave it undecorated by paper clothing. And we have scythe. So I'll just cover that up just in case. Scythe. So right off the bat, I'm feeling like you're being called to your purpose. And I'm not sure, I can't remember which reading it was. I just did a reading and we're talking about being called to your purpose. Your soul is calling you. It might have been pile 1 actually of this reading. I was saying I don't remember the readings after I've done them. I remember bits and pieces of it, but it usually comes in like this, where it'll just be like, hey, remember this thing that you talked about before? And I feel like that's the remembrance that's happening with you. It's like you're remembering why you're here, your soul purpose. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you probably picked that pile previously, or if it was in this reading, you probably were attracted to that pile also. Being called to your soul purpose, and that's causing the restlessness. And there are all these roots here, like you had these, maybe your roots were deep and you're being called to cut it away and follow that calling. All right, let's see what else we have here. Page of Wands. Yep. Call to movement. A message to get moving. Oh, I think I pulled too many cards, but that is totally okay. The Knight of Pentacles. Moving slowly. Was that other reading? I wish I could remember. I think it's this read. I think it's pile 1 where I talked about soul purpose, and I talked about, maybe environmental work, a cause that you're being called to, and the restlessness. Like there's this restlessness that you're likely feeling and you can't put your finger on it, perhaps. And it's likely a call to purpose, a call to your soul purpose. Oh, yeah, look, purpose right there. A call to your soul's calling, your soul's purpose. We have the Seven of Swords. You have protecting, nurturing. We have the Knight of Wands. So we have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, fire, and there's the guy on the horse from earlier. And wands are associated, the wand suit is associated with fire, right? With movement, the spark to get going. We have, I think this is the Page of Pentacles. Again, I'm feeling very earthy vibes to this, earth energy. The Magician. You can create change. Two of Pentacles, bringing things back into balance. We have Death, transformation. I'm going to let things get a little messy here on the end. It's okay. All right. And we have the Knight of Swords. Charge ahead. And I think that's part of this restless energy. Moving ahead. All right, let's talk about this right off the bat. And we'll come back to these other cards. We'll pull them in a little bit. We'll turn them over in a little bit. So the dream. There are a couple different layers to this. I think that it is your higher self coming in. Prophetic in a way. It's showing you that this is going to happen. This change is going to happen. This transformation is going to happen. You're being pulled to it. You're being called to it. And this restless feeling is... it's that remembrance. It's starting. You're remembering why you're here. And this reading, like the message that's coming out is kind of reiterating. I'm pretty sure it's pile 1. You can check out pile 1. It's reiterating this call. Reiterating this call to movement, the call to action, to create the change that you're wanting to see in the world. And that's going to bring, for you, things back into balance. It's gonna dampen this restlessness, this restless feeling, as you remember why it is you're here and what it is you're doing, why you're here. I forgot I was covering them up. All right. There's this transformation occurring. And that is your power. This is where you're going to come into your power. And that's where you're being called to action. That's what's coming. So this dream, in a way, is prophetic. And it's also like a key. I feel like it's a key. It's like turning the wheel, turning the key to the safe of your memories that are deep within you, of your not just your ancestral memory, but your soul memory of your purpose, your soul purpose, why you're here. And the time is now. And the dream is kind of like the messenger. The messenger, it's saying, look deeper, dig deeper. Look within. Look within. You're gonna see what we're trying to remind you of. You're gonna remember. You're going to remember. You're gonna remember that purpose. I did read from the book for this, right? I believe so. What was it again? Oh, I'm having a hard time remembering parts of it. Make a change, transform. Make a change, transform. Yep, transformation energy. All right, so let's see. What do we have here with these? We have honeybee, divine feminine. You're being called on to rise. You're being called on to rise. And panda, balance. Ask how to bring balance to the situation and into your heart. Again, balance. You got balance twice. And again, these real nature, earthy vibes I'm getting. Yeah, there are cards. There are fire and water cards in here, but I think that it's coming together. It's driving you towards this soul purpose that you're beginning to remember. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords here somewhere. We have the Knight of Wands. So here we go, the Knight of Swords. And the Star. And again, the layers. So it really feels as if this is a continuation of the pile 1 reading. And I'm pretty sure it's pile 1, where you're remembering your purpose, where you're being called out of this comfort, this space of comfort, that there's a restlessness within you that's calling you out, that's making you feel like there's something else I need to do. There's a change that needs to happen. There's a change that needs to occur. And I really feel this is like, I think I said nature warrior, environmental warrior, or something along those lines during that reading. And it's because you're bringing humanity and nature back. What you're doing is helping to bring humanity and nature back into balance. You're bringing hope to those whose voices we don't really hear, but you do. And it's that connection that you have to nature, to the earth, to the planet. I think you knew before you came into this life what it was that you needed to do, that you are going to be working a cause, an environmental cause. And you're bringing that back into balance. You're bringing hope to those who cannot speak up for themselves in a way that humans can understand. Not all humans can understand. So again, a call to action to bring things back into balance, this balance between humanity and nature, the natural world. And how are you going to go about doing this? So it was about the dream, right? It's about the dream. We're interpreting the dream. But there's also a bit of prophecy in here. There's a bit of looking ahead and seeing what it is that you can focus on. And part of it, I think, what feels to me is through writing. I think some of you are great and prolific writers, able to get across this feeling of remembering how humans interacted with nature in the past and how you can bring that back into balance. I don't know, that just came out. I don't know if that makes sense. But clarity of words, confidence in your ability to produce what needs to be produced. Maybe for some of you it's not just writing, maybe it's documentary, maybe it's stories for children. Maybe not blogs or scientific writing, but maybe it's through telling of stories through a younger generation that are growing up and can be their love of nature and love and understanding of our interaction with the natural world can still be molded into one of care and balance with the natural world. And I think that you already have the message, and that you're remembering this message, and that's what's coming to you here. It's coming to you in your dreams. And this will all make sense someday. But you're being called on to rise. You're being called, and it's funny, look what's on the top of this deck over here. Healing the natural world. Healing the natural world. And I do feel it's words. There's something with words. There's something with a project, a book, writing. You're doing this through it's a project. And it's a project that you're releasing out into the world. That's coming from deep within you. It's coming from your connection to the natural world. Healing the natural world. As our natural surroundings are very much connected with us and our health, loving them unconditionally can only bring a deeper connection to our shared energies. Helping to protect and create a safe haven for the animal kingdom will bring guidance to your own life. The affirmation, I am connected to the animal kingdom. And you're very connected to nature. And look right here, what's still showing? I'm trying to cover up this card, right? What's still showing? The Catechus? Healing. We're healing the natural world. We're bringing things back into balance. You're bringing the elements back into balance through your soul purpose, through your work. You're protecting, right? But right now, and the dream is part of this, you're being called upon to rise. You're being called upon to put in the work. You're being called upon to rise. And this is the transformation that is occurring in your life. It's a transformation that's going to occur in the world around you and those who your words reach. And I think this restlessness that you've been feeling, that's going to be relieved once. I think the restlessness almost feels like anxiousness. And it's because it's anticipation of what's to come, of what you're about to embark on, what you're about to move into, about what you're going to, what you treasure, and the work that you do. You're going to treasure the work that you do. And you have the power to create change. You have the power to create this change in the world. The change you want to see in the world. You're going to be part of that. You'll be a part of that. You're bringing the nurturing back. The way that we nurture nature. The way that we nurture nature. You're going to bring some of the hope back into how we view our place in the world, in the natural world. We're going to be healing the natural world. Remember, remember, remember. I think the sooner you remember, the sooner you act on this remembrance, the greater the impact will be. It will be great impact. All right, so that's what I have for you today. Pile 3. I actually started recording another version of this, and my computer kind of died, so I had to start over from the beginning. But the feeling of it, it was the same. Maybe different cards. I don't know. I didn't even look at them. I shuffled them and put them back in. But that feeling of remembrance, of knowing what's coming, of grasping onto that soul purpose. And this hopefulness taking over this anxiety, and this power, this confidence. Confidence in not just your abilities, but confidence in your belief, in your connection to your soul. You're standing in your integrity, being fully connected to the most authentic part of you, your soul. Yeah, that's still there. That's still there in this reading, and I'm glad it came out. All right, Pile 3, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this answered any questions that you may have had regarding the dream that you came into this reading with. If you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed the reading, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, go ahead and take a look. Believe it was Pile 1. Take a look at Pile 1. If you felt drawn at all to Pile 1, go ahead and watch Pile 1 also. All right. I wish you the best of luck, and I thank you in advance for the work that you'll do. The natural world is very important to me also. All right. Pile 3, thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye-bye.